aspect, which is squaring.
Oh, to a grid, yeah.
To a grid. Tell us about that.
Terry didn't do a grid, you see, so you can see they were passing one drawing as well between each. You know, can I see the drawing now? Can I see the drawing now? You know, so I did a grid on the corner bridge, which is the only way I thought you could.
Which means you draw small squares.
Yeah, I do half an inch to the foot, which you don't know there, unless I square it. But I got plans under the corner bridge and the personalities, you know.
Oh, at the back you've got the plans.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, people were really upset because all of the murals are gone now, and they say it was damp. And the personalities mural is a wall about that high, and it's about that far away from the wall. The rain goes down there, and it never dries up. So that's the reason why it's, you know. Actually, I would start complaining that it's damp coming into my house. But paint doesn't cause damp. You know, protects the wall. You know, stupid.
Can you hear okay at the back? Just checking. You're okay, good. Thank you. And so, if there's only one left, how can we save it?
You can't repaint, but you know, I've never used varnish because that causes the clay to crack underneath. You know. With water paint, it breathes. You know, the air gets to it, but you can't use oil paint or anything like that because it just seals in the damp or you know, it doesn't breathe. So that's why I always use water paint. American circles cover their paint, their murals with wax. You know, because
Did you say Americans?
If you try graffiti, all you got to do is put heat up and it melts off. You know, then you can re-wax it again.
Did you say Americans wax their murals?
They're the only place I know that does that. Which is really good. The Americans get some good ideas.
Well, there are X million people in America, so I'm sure.
I got American brushes. And American brushes are really good. And I used to buy them when they went out. Straight at an angle like that. So if you do a straight line and cut in, you know, these brushes really got they're not very good, you know, to do that. So just things like that, you're actually going around the world and working, you know.
So where have you been in the world with murals?
Every city in Europe I've been to.
Wow.
I've been to Los Angeles, Connecticut. I've done quite like, and I've been up to Scotland and traveled a lot.
And were you always painting there or going to talks or?
No, I never thought. I do the work, I don't talk about it. The worst part about Europe is that I can't talk the language. It's very lonely. I got a lonely profession, you know, because I know now, I got hotel room, go to New York, and go back to the hotel room, that's it.
You just said it's a lonely profession being a muralist.
Yeah, if I go out for a meal today, I can't talk to anybody. You know, so it's quite lonely. America's great because you can talk. You know, with
the language. You felt held back by not being speaking the language.
They can talk to you, of course, non-stop. Which is good.
Other nationalities are also available. Let's have a little break here because we've got a question or a comment from a person in the audience.
I have, yeah. I just wondered, you mentioned about the line rituals still being in existence. What other murals are still out there with yours?
I don't know if there are any. I've done a lot of murals indoors.
Right.
But a lot of mega stores were ritual. And I think mega stores closed down quite a few years ago. There used to be one in Swindon called Access. Just by the Brunel, they're the first shop you go to, which is a record shop. And painted murals there. That's quite cool. So a lot of them were shot for Europe, all over Europe, America. That's where I belong. Shopping, I've been to every city in Europe. So I don't need to know what to do. And it's not so it's just in my paint or gold. I didn't like it at all.
So potentially, the one we've got in town is the only one that exists.
It's probably got separate version planes, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just because I haven't given you this microphone, I won't give it to anybody. Just to clarify the question from the audience member, who's actually, you're also an organiser of the whole festival, aren't you? Yeah, of course, was about how many other murals are still existing. Ask Ken, and Ken's just explained he thinks this one in Swindon. Certainly in Swindon, that's the only one, the Golden Line Bridge. And Ken responded saying that there are have been many indoors in shops and private houses. I wonder, there must be somewhere a collated list of all your work in some of the books that you've got. It's in there.
So there's a place called Invergordon, just up from Inverness. They're still there. They've done the whole street. I think Swindon was one of the first times to actually do this. And Invergordon, we did that like 5 or 6 years ago. And lots of other artists did the whole street, all the history of the street. And I did 3. I did a lunchboat, a little town just outside, so I did this street there. Another was a building, I did not one of my front boy things. This used to be a state agents. And I think, it was just all about it, all four spirit group, and in the middle was a lock, which is just that town, with all the birds and lake and stuff like that. Yeah, I think it's just been restored a bit, because they sent me pictures. They'd have some girl go around and restore all of them, so that's kind of...
That's good news. Okay, so if they are mentioned in the book, that's brilliant. We would all, I sense, we would all want them to be registered, as it were, and logged, so we know where they are. But it does beg the question whether anybody in the audience thinks it's possible, or knows, whether it's possible actually in some way to protect, like we had the controversy still ongoing of the Oasis for it being listed. Is there such a thing as listing murals?
That's still there. I think the Oasis one, because it's undercover.
It's still there, isn't it? Yeah, the Oasis mural.
When Highworth gone, because I think it lowered the ceiling in Highworth. The Highworth record. Yeah, I can't remember anymore in Swindon. It's there.
Okay, let's see if anybody in the audience knows of how we can better protect the Golden Lion Bridge one.
Repainting.
Keep repainting it.
I've done it 3 times. Yes,
and we could get the council perhaps to pass a motion that is carried on by all councils to actually defend it and protect it. I mean, I don't know the details. I see some nods around the audience. Rob?
Does it have a varnish?
No, I never use varnish. If you're sealing and painting, and it's trying to get out of them. And then push the paint off. So I don't think anybody seals it. No, it's only Americans who put varnish.
American, yes.
I don't think other people do it. I know it. What depends what paint they use. All these guys are spray guns. What paint do they use? Must be all of it, isn't it? I suppose.
Acrylic based,
Oil
spray
based
paint.
was, sorry.
That's all people do nowadays. But
It's acrylic based, spray paint.
Was somebody,
Yeah, they're acrylic based. The spray paints we use, the aerosol ones, they're all acrylic based.
they're acrylic based,
Yes.
not oil based.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you.
The first time I used spray gun was on the plane.
Yeah, tell us about the plane, Ken.
And there is spray gun.
What is this with the plane and Richard Branson?
Well, the planes are down because the Americans, the Empires on the war, they all painted the planes. They painted nose art. I think I've got a book on it somewhere. And that was Richard's idea, or whatever this guy said, why don't we paint a lady on the front of our plane?
Nose art. Did you just say that? It's called nose art.
It's called nose art, yeah.
Nose art. Remember that. You heard it here first, folks. Nose art. So, hang over from the Second World War when they painted on the attacking planes, and Richard's idea to do it. So, what did he say to you?
Well, there's a whole group, it's not just him. Somebody else probably came out with the idea.
They did, or you think they did?
I don't know. Richard doesn't say a lot of these things. Yeah. And I did 6 designs for it, and I sat around with these guys, all these directors, and they picked out that one.
You did 66
6.
ideas, and they went with the one they went with.
And all my ideas disappeared. All the directors took one of each. Typical. I've had that before, isn't it? I've done designs and things, and they've gone. I think I did one, a real big one, but I put on the board. That went as well.
You're saying people have borrowed them and not given them back?
Yeah, but Richard said, I just remind that. Even he didn't get the big one. So he took that as well.
Richard didn't get the original?
No, the big, that one.
Right. You've got some copies at the back, haven't you?
I sent the photograph.
Some photographs. Okay, so there's Richard Branson and the Painted Lady. Let's pause now, as it's 23 minutes past 2, and see, for the moment, any comments or questions from the audience, please.
Has there been any famous works of art that you've actually seen on your travels around the world that have inspired you?
I'll repeat the question because she's facing forward. Any famous pieces of art or work when you've travelled around the world that have inspired you, Ken?
Well, you know, I paint, so I've always liked certain paintings. I like the American ones, called the Ashcan School. They paint, they paint just the average guy in the street. And that's what influenced me now, but before that, I've done the Egyptian thing. And ACES thing, which is, these guys are they collect art. And it's just, because of what it is, not for earning money. So I've gone through that series. And now I'm just painting my background, working for Muralist. So I didn't like working for Muralist, it's a horrible job. But the images were good, I remember those because they're in my head. It's easy to paint what you know, not just make something up. So I never paint landscapes or still lifes or all this stuff.
Okay, 2 questions from the audience. One gentleman in the front and a woman in the back. Thank you.
I think it's interesting that both you and the Swindon band XTC both worked for Richard Branson.
Yeah.
Did you ever collaborate with XTC on anything at all?
I did the album cover, Black Sea.
Black Sea?
Yeah, I've got some posters of it, which I was saying.
So that was about collaboration with XTC.
So you don't see what I've done. I did the background, and they're standing in front of it with diver suits on. So there's got a convention last week. If you went there. Yeah, so that's really good. But
so there's one album cover that you collaborated with.
Yeah,
that's great. Thank you, Cal.
Yeah, hi Ken.
Hi.
My nephew's a pilot on Virgin, so he loves the lady. But my question is, when you were saying about the nose art, the original artist Vegas, I think that was his name?
Vargas.
Vargas, thank you.
Yeah.
But the original artist Vargas, did his family do the painting based on his paintings?
Yeah.
Did his family ever see yours, and did they ever compare them and say, we love what you've done, or we don't?
No.
No?
No, not at all. Yeah. I was thinking perhaps a magazine would come back with Esquire, because I think it was in there, or one of the American magazines like that. So,
But the family never, the original one, they never came to you or said?
no, not at all. No, never heard of him.
Thank you.
So no exchange.
Otherwise, Richard, I don't know if Richard actually painted something, I don't know. So he would have had to, he's the one they would have gone to.
Okay, thank you. I might as well pass the mic rather than repeat the questions.
I know you were a sign writer at the Railways.
Yeah.
When did you first start painting on murals, on walls? When did you use that as your canvas?
Well, it was 1976. Oh, 1975, yeah, when I did the train.
Yeah.
That's the first time. I was a community artist then. I was paid by labour to... I was supposed to be teaching somebody. I had a young kid with the Garden Line Bridge, but I found out he was colourblind. He didn't do a lot, but I was supposed to, when I got the job, I was supposed to be a gardener. Terry Crook got me just paid to do something. So then I did the murals. So that's how I got into it.
Sorry, Ken, you were supposed to be a gardener and you ended up as a famous international mural.
Terry wanted me into it, so he had to get an excuse to actually get me to do the job. I was getting more on the door, and I got paid for painting the murals.
You were getting it, so things don't change.
But you have to take chances, don't you? You never know what's going to come out.
Well, on that
It's
matter,
worthwhile doing that.
on that matter of taking chances to the artists and creators in the world, David Bennett's got a question, haven't you, about the chances you took in London? You can also have the microphone.
Hi Ken, when you were painting the terrible pirate book, I was painting the skateboard mural around the corner.
Yeah.
But in London, yeah.
What day was that? What was it saying?
77, 78.
I was thinking 78.
78 was skateboard mural, and the Virgin officers who were around the corner at the same time, because I have a photograph on my website where that cover of your book actually shows you standing in the doorway.
Line pressure.
But
Townhouse.
what I was going to ask simply was, did you ever need planning permission for any of your murals?
No, not. I usually had to do a sketch, a drawing of how it would look, you know, the colour, watercolour. This is how it's going to look. Because a lot of these people haven't got an idea what a mural is, you know, they think it's graffiti, basically. So, you know, do a big, and I send it, you know, with like the town I'm going to do a mural in, and you have to get approval. So, you know, all my murals are history of the town. So I go up there, have a look around the town, talk to people, you know, wherever I am, even the European ones, I go, like I did one in Austria.
So
I did a big Greek mural there, so, you know, all the time where I am, where I'm working, like Swindon, all my Swindon ones are views of Swindon and what it used to be. You know, so,
okay.
so they always approve that, of course.
Did the Virgin offices not need planning approval in London? It's just that I had to, you know, my first experience of mural painting was slightly different to yours, but you know, believe it or not, as a struggling artist in the mid-70s, I had an agent, and he got me a job to paint a mural for Robert Dias, the ironmongers on Earls Court Road, and it was essentially a commercial project, and it was rejected by Kensington and Chelsea Council, and I've, you know, been averse to committees ever since. You know, but I also, at the same time as that, I was a trained youth worker and worked in London, and my murals that I painted were all about community engagement. But you know, it's been a contentious issue through history. You know, if murals wander into the political arena or the religious arena or whatever it is, you know, whether authority or not decides that they are acceptable or not.
Well, it stopped a lot of my murals. I think I painted Tropic Monster one in Scotland. I went the next day with a big red cross over it. You know, I can't hardly next to Robert Adam. You know, so I do get stopped sometimes. And I was doing Plymouth, you know, John Royman. Had some guy shouting at me. This man should go towards the home, it's not paying you. You know. So I did get a lot of people, you know, objecting against what I'm doing. And I said, well, you know, I'm just doing it. You know, can't have a go at me. So
I mean,
objections.
I think the points Dave and Ken have brought up are a key point to where we're at today. And just to say that what David Bent, I mean, you're coming on to see one international artist, and we've got two. It's brilliant. Thank you, Dave, for coming on. Maybe you'll be in the chair next year when we have the 2023 Paint Fest. Let's hope so. But on there, you haven't had a chance to look, folks, but there's a 5-10 minutes, is it, montage type thingy of street art, murals and community art, which Sally Taylor says is perhaps one phrase to use. So do have a look at that before you go and look at Ken's stuff at the back and talk with him. Sorry? Let's hope so, otherwise we'll be a bit embarrassed. I see we've got a hand there. I just wanted to make a link, I'll come to you in a minute, Linda. I just wanted to make a link about what Dave said about getting permission. I think it would be fair to say, would it not, Ken, that in the 70s, with this Terry Court guy and how Swindon Borough Council it was Labour at the time, that you were really pushing it to an open door. And I myself was working as a youth and community worker in Hemel Hempstead in the 70s, and it was all happening there. They say the swinging 60s, and I kind of was born then, but I missed it a bit, but the 70s, things were really happening. Those of us of this sort of age, possibly 72 next birthday, cannot believe the way society has gone, and how brilliant it is that after the Roadbone Collective, and it wasn't only then, kicked off, several other initiatives have happened as well, that suddenly within 6 weeks this Swindon Paint Fest has been born, and we're having this amazing conversation with Ken himself, and you're all connecting with each other. And I'm hopeful seeing that, feeling the buzz yesterday at the launch of this festival. I'm hopeful, really hopeful. And if I can take the liberty of the chair, and I'm talking to other people as well, I would, with no research, but my feeling is this, that 12 years of austerity, COVID,
So I need to be...
yeah, I am. Yeah. So, Ken, what you see today, when you look around, you had that heyday, when you look around, what sort of public art activity do you see
What? Where?
in the town on this event today?
Well, it's both to what I do. You know, I paint history of the town, basically. I go to do research. You know, every mural I've done in other towns, I try and put in what the town is, what the history is. I don't know I suppose Richard's going to do. I did a job in Seville, so I went round and I saw, all these tiles, you know, the lovely tiles I've got in Seville. I did a mural there, going down a whole staircase, you know, with tile paint. I made a big guitar with tile to make another guitar.
Guitar with tiles.
Yeah, yeah. So I do bring things in, even the city in America. I paint things very American. I did 2 floors of a store there, mega store. Top floor was film stars, you know, 8-foot high heads of film stars. The bottom floor was rock stars. So I did groups and all around on the bottom. I used to work at night with a projector, which I didn't tell them. So I had it all planned, you know, with the projector going around, protection on the wall. And the guys just coming next door themselves. They said, "Can't do work fast." I said, "Oh, you know, I've been doing it a long time." But I like to get them accurate. You know, like my line road, you have to make a bit of a name, slightly wrong, and it doesn't work, you know. So if I was to play drawing a star, Mary Line Road, by hand, and it looks slightly wrong, you know, much point. You know, a lot of this old painters like Rubio and that, they used to use projectors. You know, they get exactly what they wanted. No, but if you look at it, I think they slightly curve at the edges. So they were near as painters, you know, so you can see they projected it out to, you know, get it accurate what they wanted. So there's nothing wrong with that. I just, you know, just even today, I think a lot of people do. You know, it's all computer stuff now they use to do their things. So there's nothing wrong with that.
I think it's something called, I'm only learning this today, doodle grids. Isn't it? Do you use doodle grids today to help with the murals?
No, you just use a grid.
Just use a grid.
Yeah, I got the famous faces on it. You have to have a grid for that. There's so many things on it, so many heads. You know.
Gridding up, gridding up is a very common technique that artists use.
What's it called? Gridding up.
I think the ceiling.
It's just a scale. You create a maquette or a drawing or whatever. You create a grid on it, and then when you make it big, you just make it.
Michelangelo. On the ceiling.
Okay, we've got a question.
If you look at it close, you can see all the blue dots being used
On Michelangelo.
on the ceiling. Yeah.
On the ceiling.
Yeah, up, you know, in the mirror.
Tracy is coming out here. We've got a question there and a question there, or a comment. Linda.
This is a 3-in-1 question, take you back in time. Did you used to paint and draw as a child? That's number 1 question. Number 2 question is, what did you paint and draw as a child, if you did? And question number 3 is, did you feel the need to go to art school?
I suppose I did draw as a child, but I was at a step drawing book and I used to keep doing things in it. I can't remember what it was a long time ago. I was a bit older to remember it. So what was the next one?
What did you draw?
Yes, what as a child, what did you paint and draw?
So say, a lot What's the second?
It's like, when did you first become interested in painting?
I think it was art school then.
I went to art school.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, I was away in the railways. Because I was at the railways for 4 years. No. I did songwriting for 2 years. I was difficulty in the first two. Then I went to evening classes while I was doing songwriting. And the teacher said, you should go to art school, you should come here full time. Instead of just doing evening classes.
So the tutor encouraged you, Ken?
Yeah.
As
So,
you were for
yes,
tutors?
after leaving the railways, like a head of day, I thought. I was getting through that out of character because I was there. And another guy, like me, was same ages, he was with me as well. Because, but most of the kids come in, like kids, I thought, God, what's going on? And the teachers thought, oh, well, the teachers, of course, because we're a bit more grown up, I suppose.
So was that kind of when you realised, I'm an artist?
I think I don't call myself an artist. I hate that one.
So you're not an artist yet?
Musicians are artists. Actors are artists, aren't they?
So what are you, Ken, if you're not an artist?
Muralist and painter.
You're a painter.
Yeah.
Muralist or painter. No, that's good clarification. You are what you want to be called as a... The question there.
Hi, Ken. It was lovely hearing you talking about the Golden Iron Bridge mural. I used to live in that house in the late 90s. I used to rent a room. Lovely memories.
Which I was in painting.
I just wanted to ask how that building got picked, how that particular house got chosen for the mural.
Well, Tony Hillier did choosing the houses. He used to go around. I suppose you have to ask the people for their permission. I couldn't just go by myself and say, because he can all that work and go around. We have one in Union Street as well. I don't know how you pick that one. But, he did all the choosing in Highworth, of course, that's part of the council anyway. Some of them were council buildings. I don't know, he picked the trainer, and that was one of the first ones. So I don't know, I can't see what the other ones on. I was one down at Broadboard as well, with George and the Dragon. There's one in Broadboard. Gorse Hill, there's one there. A lot of them have gone there, so I can't remember where they are. So in my folder, if you go through that, you can see all the Swindon one, Cavendish Square, and things like that. So it's pretty quite one of the place, So you see my book, you see at the beginning of the book, it's got them all in there, where they are.
So don't forget to buy the book, folks. And Ken, it gives me an opportunity to ask you now about, we've got a lot of artists and creators in the room. Have you got any hints or tips or messages for artists today?
No, it's just determination, focus. I was luckily focused on my life since the art school. I live with Bill O'Sullivan, I knew he was going to make it. I lived with him, and we lived together in London. The other boxes all around, he used to be the bungalow. Rick Davis is the other one I lived with. He's an amazing musician. I knew that he was going to make it. He was playing piano all the time. So, they were like me. Just one thing. I think they're autistic.
So determination.
What's the word they call? It's not autistic.
Determination.
OCD, is it? No, you just do one thing. That's all. Because I people that watch. That's the station. You get a bit like that, isn't it?
Determination and focus, you said.
Yeah, that's all you need. I knew I was going to, I just did painting more enough. My wife said, what are you going to do in classes? Do this and that? Nah. This is it, that's all I want to do. So, just keep going at it, what you want to do. You get better as well, of course, over time, if you keep doing one thing. Particularly when things start happening, when you get too old to do anything else.
We're into the last 15 minutes now, folks, so it is your chance now to ask any questions or make any comments about community art. Well, Carol, you've spoken once, so I'll just check if anybody else wants to say anything.
One over there.
Thank you. One over there.
Hi there. Claire, a question for you and perhaps also for the organisers of the festival. I just wondered...
Do they use computers then? I suppose the rest of it, but that's all I know. They can grid out an error. They do projections on big walls, I think, do they? Yeah. I know I use them sometimes, you know, but it's like getting likenesses, like I said, you know, you do, you know, faces, you won't get right, exactly, so that's the only time I've used anything like that, but it's all linked. You know, people use, as they say, spray guns now, and they're used on the wall. I always use brushes, you know, paint things, you know, tins of paint. So, and I don't know these spray guns, I suppose they do last time. Somebody went over my Canterbury Bridge one, and I painted there. And it looks good actually. Something got my face in it.
Are there any spray gun artists, spray gun, I don't know if it's called, who'd like to say anything about their work at the moment? No, you're shaking your head. No. I got somebody in the back. Did I have somebody else as well? Bob at the back.
Thanks. Ken, you have to be very disciplined to do the lines and the accuracy on sign writing.
Yeah.
You moving across from sign writing to painting on walls, did you have to use the same disciplines in order to create what was in your mind?
Yeah, not all of them. Some of them, I've got brushes about that size, sign writing brushes. So any cutting in, you know, very detailed, I use those. And I know somebody said once, God, you paint a whole wall with a brush that size. Which is quite funny. I got out there in my bag, American brushes, and they're cut in an angle like that. Really good brush to use. And if it goes straight line, you just go like that. You know, just thread straight away. And that's probably part of my sign writing training, you know, I did. But these square brushes, you know, you draw through the straight lines. They're not very good at all. You know, so, like, really, you know, really, I got some props back from America. They're amazing brushes. You don't see them. Sometimes I do see them over here, actually. You know, just cut at an angle, the tops. They're really good. I've still got my palette, my nail stick from the railways. But, you know, I don't use that very often. Even in painting, I used to use it with big 4-foot square bit because they were detailed. But my paintings now are just which is really get older, I suppose. You know.
Ken, the word graffiti, what does that mean to you? What comes up in your mind if I said the word graffiti to you?
Just breaking off, lettering it, like that.
Because it's sometimes used as today as a pejorative term. People say, oh, I hate graffiti. So I, myself, being sort of one step removed from the visual arts, started to remind me it's called community art, public art, murals, visual arts, all that. Where does graffiti sit in all of that? Does anybody want to make any comment about graffiti or educate us as to what the differences are between murals and graffiti or whatever?
Graffiti is predominantly letter-based art form, which shows off the styles of in letters, whereas in murals, obviously more art-based. So graffiti is predominantly letter-based art form. So the main focus of graffiti is the letters, the dynamics, and how much you can distort and influence the shapes of those structures to kind of represent your name and identity. But the crossover with graffiti and muralism is, over the years, becoming like one of the same, you know. The graffiti world's expanding more and trying to incorporate like more art-based imagery into the walls that they create. That's pretty much what it was.
Thank you, that's very, very helpful.
Hi. Can I just ask you then, I used to know Terry Court really well, all being part of the community art scene way back in the sort of mid-70s, late 70s. Did you ever amalgamate with, you know, dancers and actors, you know, painting backdrops for shows or anything like that?
No, I didn't. I think I just did posters and murals, basically, that's what I did.
Would that be some sort of advertising as well, perhaps, for events?
A lot of them were events, whatever, oasis. So, you know, just work for the events that were going on.
Yeah,
I still got a draw from them as well. Just check the drawings.
brilliant. Thank you.
Okay, it's the going, going, gone stage, folks. There's one here on, well, I held you back on a second one, did I, Carl? So we've got 2 on seconds. Anybody on first? Let's go for it. 1 on first. Would you like to come forward for the microphone then? 1 on first and 2 on seconds, and I think we're done. It's not really much.
Hello everyone, my name is Heidi Alexander and I'm the Labour Party's parliamentary candidate for Swindon.
I did give a warning beforehand.
Yeah, I won't take long, I just thought I'd give you one very minor reflection on graffiti which may bring a wry smile to some of your faces given what we're talking about. I used to be the Deputy Mayor of London and I was responsible for public transport, and one day the officers of Transport for London came to me and said, I need to talk to you about graffiti. I said, okay, and they said, there's good news and there's bad news. And they said, what do you want first? And I said, well, the good news. And they said, well, there's some graffiti that's appeared on the tube network, and our cleaners have removed it within 24 hours. And I said, okay, that's great, that sounds really good news. And then they said, the bad news is that it was a Banksy. And so this was one of my worst days in the job. I did think, given the subject that we were just talking about, I thought I would share that with you. Yeah, if we had kept the graffiti, it may have solved some of Transport for London's financial problems. So thank you to everyone for organising this event.
Thank you very much. The last 2 then, I think.
Like, how many layers do you put on when you do the murals? Do you just do one, or how many do you do?
But then, no, just hand wash without paint. So, just seals the wall basically, and then paint on top of that. And so it's good drawing service as well, if you can't write background. So I just draw. I used to get it's lead, the pencil, but I used to get these sticks of lead. With a pencil, draw one stroke, the pencil's gone. Yeah, so I use that. And spirit level, which is very difficult, the spirit level. To keep it, it's really hard. You have to push it against the wall, make it stable. Then I got another spirit level, which is a plastic one, which stays on the wall, the handle. Just basic things like that. I used to draw paint buildings, monuments, bricks. So it's like that. Behind you, painting bricks. That was difficult, took ages to do. It's in my folder anyway. See there? Oh, see there, that's just different sort of thing. Painting those bricks to the edges.
Thank you. Harold,
Yeah, you talked, it's mentioned that there's only one mural of yours left in the town.
Yeah.
And the question I had is, if you could only save, if all of your work still existed, and you could only save one, would it be possible for you to say which one, whether it's a mural or a painting?
Covent Garden. It's a 60-foot by 40-foot mural there.
Sorry, can you say that again? Sorry, can I listen?
Covent Garden. There's a mural there. There's a 4 windows, a front wheel, which I do. So there's bricks on that. And windows. It's not like film. They're where it's got to. Where's that?
So is it still existing, the Covent Garden?
No, it's a...
But that's your favourite?
Opera House extension, man.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, folks. Apparently in education they say you should stop the lesson while the lesson's going well. It's been fantastic. But the most fantastic has been Ken. Ken will be around, having a cup of tea, hopefully, at the back table there, and he'll be willing to talk to you, and you do have a ferret round and his very precious possessions of original drawings and copies of original drawings. The film will be ongoing. The hub will be serving teas and coffees and cake downstairs if there's any delicious cake left. And so the paint festival goes on till 4 o'clock today, and starts again tomorrow. Is it the same time tomorrow, folks? 11 till 4 tomorrow as well, including, is it tomorrow as well, at Artside Experimental Drawing? Yeah, so in all the locations on the maps, most of social media, but the names are there, and in Artside, and the hub, no, the hub is closed tomorrow, isn't it? The hub's closed tomorrow, but there's plenty of other things around. So it only remains for me to say a massive thank you to Mr. Ken Wright.